So something very strange is happening. If you're someone that really pays attention, it's actually quite disturbing. But if you came across this video, you might say to yourself, I feel like time is speeding up. And I noticed something today that inspired me to make this video because there is something happening. It is very strange. And the reality that we're experiencing, it's changing. And what we took for granted, if you will, you can't take anything for granted anymore. You know, for those that feel like time is speeding up, I have an oven clock in the kitchen, and I purposefully set the clock 3 minutes fast. And those that come on my podcast daily, 9 a.m. Eastern, I try to make sure that I try to not be late, and I purposefully set the clock ahead 3 minutes fast. Today I looked at the clock, and then I looked at the clock that they give us on the phone, and it was only really 1 minute fast. And recently, with the change of the clocks, the daylight savings time, just in a short amount of time, it's almost like we're off by 2 minutes. And this is a procedure that I do. It's something that I've always done. Maybe you do something like this, where if there's a clock in your house, you purposefully make it like a little fast so you're not late to things. So I try not to be too late for the live stream when I get live on the podcast, and I purposefully set it fast so I kind of like speed up, but I know it's 3 minutes fast. And today I was looking at it, and it was only 1 minute fast. So, and I noticed this the last time that we had to change the clocks. So if there is anyone that's hearing this, have you witnessed that? Do you set a clock that's not, on the phone, not the cable, not a time that, we're all kind of linked up to? So like your oven clock, your microwave, clocks that you just set. Do you see that the time is a little off versus like a clock that's just your phone, a clock that is on the cable, something that's given to us? So let me know in the comments. But a lot of us have been feeling that time is off, and it's amazing. I'm leaving this message, and we're in May as I leave this message, and it really feels like the speed of time is going faster and faster. And the next talking point, since I just mentioned the time of the year, another weird thing that I experience, I walk the shoreline of the beach. I've been doing this for years. And in this past window of time, I've seen so many massive jellyfish wash up on the shoreline. Now, because I have always been doing this, if it was August, I wouldn't really, that's kind of something that, and if you're a person that goes to the beach on the East Coast, maybe you've witnessed the jellyfish in August. And this time of year, I've never seen so many, and pretty big ones too. I said, I'm not going in that ocean. I said, look at these things wash up. And I thought that was kind of weird for the time of year that it is right now. So that is like a seasonal thing. At the time, it's very strange to see that. Dreams, maybe in recent times, when it's like later, not maybe in the middle of the night, but when it's time almost to wake up in the rising, you might have at that time a very vivid dream. It's very strange, and it's what it's representing. It's bringing up the subconscious. There is an energy that we're all in right now. And when you are dealing with the subconscious and you're having these vivid dreams. I've been having talking to a few friends as well in recent times, these vivid dreams. The dreams that you have, they're representations of the subconscious and what's coming up. Because there's a massive shift that's happening for our life. And once our subconscious is reset, then the actual world that we experience on an everyday life, it's going to be totally different. And the last very strange thing I would like to share, maybe you experienced the NPC show. Maybe it could be a person that you know, or it could just be you. If you're an individual, if you're paying attention to this video, can you pay attention? Some people can't. And some people are asleep at the wheel, so they're not really picking up on these glitches of reality. Maybe there's a person that you know, and all of a sudden, she hits you up on the phone, someone from your past. And there's an NPC show, a song and dance that goes on for like an hour, texting, videoing, right, calling, and then all of a sudden disappears out of nowhere. And it's almost like, because the reality, a person that's on a different timeline, it's very strange, just pops up and does a bunch of stuff, talks, whatever it is, and then disappears. And then also, as I'm leaving this tonight, I went to the gym at a time period that I don't know. I usually go in the morning, and I happen to go later in the day. And I just went to sit in the infrared sauna and detoxing. And I see this guy's in the parking lot, and I see him look at me. He walks past, he's walking, and then I see him walk back into the gym, and I overhear him say, "Oh, I forgot something," and I see him follow me into the locker room, and because I'm an alert person, I see this person, and the person walks all around the locker room, and then walks out of the gym. I've never seen this person before. I also don't go normally at this time, but it was very strange. And maybe you go out in the public, in society, look to people, and you might witness these very strange behaviors. And you're paying attention, right? You're focused. You're seeing, well, what is this person doing? And I saw. He looked at me. He came back in, went through the other door, came back in, walked around, left. So, we're witnessing very strange things. If you're new to the channel, I'm Michael. I discuss ascension, I discuss quantum physics, and I discuss psychology. And we are witnessing, which is a lot to really take in, we are witnessing the collapse of reality itself. And that's where quantum physics come into play. The reality that you're experiencing is collapsing. Maybe you're witnessing strange glitches with the time. Look at your oven clock. Look at the time. And I want people that are hearing this message, I want you to comment on this video. Do you witness that? It's called the quickening. A lot of people are reporting this around the world. It's really happening at an accelerated rate. You're witnessing maybe strange things with animals, right? It's very strange. And if you're a person that really pays attention to nature, some people don't pay attention to nature. They're not going to have a clue what we're talking about, right? Dreams. Are you having these dreams, right, which represent the subconscious? And you know if you're normally dreaming and how you dream, but in recent times, right, especially later, not in the beginning of the night, but later in the night, you're having these dreams. And maybe you're experiencing the NPC show. You're witnessing these characters show up, and it's part of the reality that we're in. And what we have to realize is this was a matrix that we were all kind of plugged into. I call it the illusionary baseline reality. And those people that have woken up over the past few years, you realize that there's another reality out there. I know some people might maybe feel that's strange or weird, but what we're experiencing is weird. Okay? So, and it is a lot to handle all at once. So I refer to people, check out the Mandela effect. Maybe you've already heard of the Mandela effect. Maybe you were affected by some of the examples. But once you experience one Mandela effect, some of the strange things, and I understand that some people will hear me say, well, what is this guy talking about in this video? You know, but when you start to say, you know what, I'm a very focused individual, and that's what I share on this channel, especially if you want to work on your health and wellness, right? You can click subscribe. And if you like this video so far, I appreciate if you click the like button, because a lot of other people are experiencing these things. So you really, and that's the focus of your pineal gland or your third eye. It's a real thing. And some people disregard it, but the healthier you are, if you are focused, because a lot of people aren't focused. It's really part of the modern society. People can't focus their attention for 1 minute. It's true. So if you're a person that is very focused like I am, you're watching the human behaviors, you're watching the clock, right? It's fake time anyway. But when you see the difference with the, the digital, on the phone, on the cable box, and then, something that you manually set yourself, wait a second, this is kind of strange. This is very weird, all right? I'm here to tell you, you thought you knew what reality was. And maybe you're hearing this message. And listen, I went through this myself. The people that you come across in your everyday life, the situations that you come across, reality itself, it's not what I don't even know how to word it, what you were taught, what you thought it was. Reality, like we thought reality was real. But there is a collection of frequencies that we're tuned into. And when you are very focused, and I know this video is going to resonate with some people, and some people might not understand this video, the reality that we are all living in is collapsing very rapidly. I would say the number one, piece of evidence is the quickening. Wow, look at how far we are in the year already. It's incredible. And if you are a very focused person, you could feel it yourself. You could feel that time is speeding up. And what will we experience? It's a lot to handle because you will witness people pop in and out. People will change personalities. I did a very powerful video on, I try to make things that are very relatable to this modern world that we're living in. Maybe you've been ghosted before. Maybe you came across a fake person, all right? Maybe you should check that video out. And I talk about the quantum shifts that we're all going through. Most of humanity was programmed into the matrix. And the way that this was done was through something called your reticular activating system, or your RAS. And that's why there can be a reality that's right there. There could be a situation, right? An actual part of reality, and you won't see it because this part in the brain is wired to only identify certain things. Maybe a person is only wired to see fear. That's all that they will see in their life. And if you have been, raising your frequency, all of a sudden you're not programmed to fear anymore. You're on a totally different timeline. Well, what's a timeline? This sounds a little, interesting. Well, it's a trajectory of possibilities according to your main frequency. Where do you dwell? And if you're new to the channel and you're going to take this journey, that window of time before you go to bed is where you dwell. The story that's running in the background. Upon the moment, this is what a quantum shift is actually. Upon the moment that you change on the inside, the outer world begins to collapse. And we're literally witnessing reality collapse. I mean, and there's no way to get people's attention anymore to get back into the fear. Once you see, you can never unsee. Maybe you say, you know what? I see a clown show out there on the TV. Ooh, TV. Right? But there's nothing that they could do for your attention anymore. is finished. If you're getting this message today, the reality is literally collapsing, and there are many strange happenings. It is very weird, and you might find yourself curled up in the fetal position. And you know what? This is just a game. So let's have fun. So I appreciate each and every one of you. If you realize everything that I've shared tonight, this is not a scary thing. I shared about Mandela effects years ago, and some people were so interested and some people were terrified of just a Mandela effect. So there's going to be different people in the world, and the moral of the story is realize that when you start to treat life like it's a game and you have fun, your whole reality begins to shift. And that's what we're actually here to do. We're actually here to play and create. The inner child, if you're able to tap into your inner child, you are going to manifest like never before. If this message resonates with you, why don't you share it with other people? Click subscribe, click like, take the journey, daily videos, 9 a.m. Eastern time, and I'm going to teach you how to stay focused and realize, you know what? Because if you're asleep at the wheel, you're not going to see these things. So if you're a person that made it to the end of this, you understand what I'm saying. But some people there, and we can't blame everyone, they're too busy. They're too busy with work. You know, there's a lot of stress in the modern society, but then there's also a lot of distractions. Stay away from the distractions on the internet. Stay away from the clown show on the TV. And why don't you stay focused on your everyday life? I appreciate each and every one of you. And you know what? We have these strange occurrences, but, you know, don't be afraid of them. I know they're weird, but when you look at it from a lens, your perception becomes your reality. Once you realize this, you say, you know what? Reality's not real. I could start creating a brand new life for myself, for my family, build the community, right? What a great thing. So I love you all. Comment down below if you've experienced any of the things that I discussed tonight. I am the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, light warriors, just keep going.